The crash. The sky above the barren planet was dark and quiet, clouds moving slowly like shadows over the rocky ground. Alex walked carefully over the rough surface, his boots crunching on the sharp stones. He had traveled far from Earth, curious about this strange world, a world that no human had explored before. He carried a small backpack with tools and a scanner, checking the ground for signs of life. The wind howled softly, carrying a faint smell of metal and dust. Alex paused and looked around, sensing that something unusual was about to happen. Suddenly, a bright light tore across the sky, brighter than the sun, moving faster than any star he had ever seen. It came closer and closer, burning through the clouds. Alex's heart raced. He ran to find cover behind a large rock. The ground shook beneath him and a loud crash echoed across the empty plains. A spaceship had fallen from the sky, breaking into pieces as it hit the ground. Fire and smoke rose from the wreck. Flames. Dancing in the dark like angry spirits, Alex could see metal fragments scattered everywhere, some glowing red from the heat. He felt fear but also curiosity, wondering if anyone could survive such a crash. He approached carefully, keeping low and moving slowly. His scanner beeped wildly, showing life signs nearby. Alex's eyes widened. "There's someone alive," he whispered to himself, his hands trembling. He crouched behind a piece of the ship and peeked. Inside the smoking wreckage, he saw a figure struggling, its body covered in strange armor. The figure was not human. Its skin was blue and shiny, and its eyes glowed faintly in the smoke. Alex could see cuts and burns on the alien's body, and it tried to move but fell again, exhausted. Alex's mind raced. Should he help or stay back? The alien looked dangerous, maybe even a warrior, but it was clearly hurt. If he ignored it, it might die alone. If he helped, he could be risking his life. He remembered stories from Earth, about humans and aliens never meeting peacefully. Yet, he could not leave it there. He took a deep breath, stepped forward, and shouted, "Hey, are you alive?" The alien looked at him, its glowing eyes blinking slowly. It tried to speak, making sounds Alex could not understand, but he saw its hand reaching out weakly, asking for help. Alex ran closer, ignoring the heat from the wreck. He grabbed a piece of cloth from his backpack and wrapped it around the alien's bleeding arm. "I'll get you out," he said, feeling his heart beat fast. The alien made a sound like a sigh, as if it understood. Suddenly, a loud noise came. From the sky, like engines scanning the ground, Alex froze. "We are not alone," he whispered, looking up. Shadows of ships moved across the clouds, searching for the crashed spaceship. He had to move quickly, or they would find him and the alien. Alex grabbed a metal fragment and used it as a shield, helping the alien crawl toward a nearby cave. The alien struggled, but Alex encouraged it. "Come on, you can make it," he said, feeling sweat on his forehead. Dust and fire filled the air, making it hard to breathe. Finally, they reached the cave, a dark hole in the rocky cliff. Alex helped the alien inside, its armor scraping against the stones. The alien sat down, breathing heavily. Its glowing eyes looked at Alex as if saying thank you. Alex smiled, though he was exhausted. "You're safe now," he said, trying to sound brave. He looked outside, the wreck still burning, the sound of engines growing faint. The alien warrior was silent, but Alex could feel its strength returning slowly. He did not know who it was, where it came from, or why it crashed here, but he knew one thing. He had made a choice that would change everything. As night fell, Alex and the alien sat in the cave, listening to the wind and the distant fires. The stars above were bright, like eyes watching them. He wondered what danger might come next, and if he had made the right decision. He touched the alien's hand gently. "I'll protect you," he whispered, and the alien's eyes glowed brighter, almost like a promise. Little did Alex know, the crash was only the beginning. Something bigger, something more dangerous was coming. He did not know if he was ready, but one thing was certain. He could not turn back now. The fire from the wreck painted the night red, and the strange sounds from the alien's body reminded Alex that he was not alone. He had stepped into a world of danger, mystery, and adventure, and his life would never be the same again. First contact. The cave was dark and cold. The wind whistling outside, Alex sat beside the alien trying to understand what had happened. The alien's breathing was slow but steady, and its glowing eyes reflected the firelight from the distant wreck. Alex felt a mixture of fear and curiosity. He had never seen anything like it before. He reached into his backpack and pulled out a small scanner. Pointing it at the alien, the device beeped, showing its life signs were strong but unstable. Alex frowned. "I need to help you," he whispered, unsure if the alien could understand him. The alien tilted its head, making a soft sound, almost like a question. Alex tried to communicate. "Can you understand me?" The alien made strange clicks and hums, and the sound echoed in the cave. He shook his head, realizing he needed a better way. Then he remembered a small translator device he had found in the wreckage. It was blinking faintly, waiting to be activated. He connected it carefully, pressing buttons he did not fully understand. A soft hum filled the air, and then a voice spoke. "I am Kyle," the alien said, its voice strange but understandable. Alex's eyes widened. "Kyle, that's your name?" he asked, feeling relief. The alien nodded, a small gesture of trust. Kyle tried to move but winced in pain. Alex examined the armor, noticing deep scratches and burns. "You are hurt badly," he said. "But I will help." "You?" Kyle looked at him silently, then slowly extended a hand, showing that he trusted Alex. Alex worked carefully, cleaning the wounds and applying bandages. Kale flinched sometimes, but did not resist. The alien's skin was smooth and warm, glowing faintly in some places. Alex marveled at the strange patterns on Kale's body, wondering what kind of planet he came from. "You saved me," Kale said finally, his voice sounding almost human through the translator. Alex smiled. "Yes, I couldn't leave you there," he said, "even if I didn't know who you were." Kale's eyes glowed softly, as if understanding, more than words. Suddenly, a strange noise echoed from the cave entrance. Alex froze. "What was that?" he whispered. Kale turned his head slowly, listening. The sound grew louder, like engines searching. Alex's heart pounded. He realized the enemy ships might still be nearby. Kale gestured with his hands, pointing toward the entrance. Alex looked and saw shadows moving in the distance, ships scanning the ground for life signs. He grabbed a flashlight and shone it outside. Seeing nothing clearly, the wind carried faint mechanical sounds, making the cave feel alive with danger. Alex's mind raced. "We need to move," he said, looking at Kale. The alien nodded, struggling to stand, and Alex helped him. "Follow me," he whispered, leading Kale deeper into the cave, away from the scanner and the danger outside. The deeper they went, the cooler the air became, and the light from outside faded. Alex felt a strange connection forming with Kale. He realized that helping this alien was more than a choice. It was a responsibility, something that could not be ignored. Kale finally sat down, catching his breath, and for the first time, Alex noticed his armor had strange symbols, glowing faintly. Alex reached out, touching them gently. "What do these mean?" he asked. Kale looked at him, then pressed his hand against the symbols, and the glow became brighter. Images appeared in Alex's mind, flashes of a distant planet, towering cities, strange creatures, and battles he could barely understand. He staggered back, surprised. "Your world is so different," he said. Kale nodded slowly, the translator converting the hums to words. "We fight to protect our people." Alex realized the alien was not just a traveler. He was a warrior, a protector, and now wounded on a foreign planet alone. Alex felt fear but also determination. He had to help Kale no matter the danger. Then a sudden vibration shook the cave, dust falling from the ceiling. Alex looked around, panic rising. "They are coming closer," he shouted. Kyle stood slowly, his glowing eyes scanning the dark entrance. Alex noticed his hands were trembling, not from fear, but from adrenaline and hope. Kyle pointed to the back of the cave, a hidden path Alex had not seen before. "We must move," Cale said through the translator. Alex nodded, helping him walk. I won't let anything happen to you, he promised. Feeling the weight of responsibility, he guided Cale carefully through the narrow path. The hidden passage led to a small chamber where the walls shimmered faintly from the alien's presence. Alex sat down, exhausted. What now? He asked. Cale looked at him, his glowing eyes steady. Wait, he said. We plan. Next move. Alex nodded, realizing patience was now their only weapon. For the first time, Alex understood that this was not just an accident. Cale had enemies, powerful enemies, and by saving him, Alex had stepped into a larger battle. He did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing: he could not run away. As the cave grew darker and the sounds of distant engines faded slightly, Alex felt a strange calm, sitting beside Cale, ready to face whatever came next. He reached out, touching Cale's arm gently. Together, he said, and Cale's glowing eyes met his, almost like a silent agreement. The night was quiet now, but both knew it was temporary. Outside, shadows moved, enemies were searching, and a larger adventure had only just begun. Escape from danger. The hidden chamber was cold and silent. Alex could hear his own breathing mixed with the soft hum of Cale's armor. He watched the faint glow coming from the alien's body, feeling both fear and determination. Outside, the planet was dark. Shadows moving under the dim starlight. Cale tried to stand, testing his strength, his steps slow and careful. Alex supported him. We need to move before they find us, he whispered. His heart raced as he peered toward the cave entrance. The distant hum of engines reminded him that the enemy ships were still nearby, scanning for life signs. Alex knew they could not stay. He needed a plan, fast. Looking around, he noticed a narrow tunnel leading deeper into the rocks. This way, he said, guiding Cale into the dark passage. The walls were rough, sharp stones scraping their clothes, but it was safer than staying near the entrance. As they moved, Alex kept checking the scanner. It beeped irregularly, showing multiple life signs outside. The enemy had split into search teams, and some were very close. Dust fell from the ceiling as the ground trembled slightly, making every step dangerous. Kyle stumbled, almost falling to the ground. Alex grabbed him quickly. Careful, he warned. The alien's glowing eyes met his, showing trust and determination. They moved slowly, each step silent, but time was running out. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from behind them, a metal clang. Alex froze, heart pounding. Cale turned his head sharply, listening. They are coming, the translator said. Alex felt a cold sweat, realizing the enemy could reach them any moment. He remembered the tools in his backpack, a small plasma cutter and a rope. Quickly, he grabbed the rope, tying it to a large rock to create a trap. He whispered to Cale, if they follow, they'll fall into it. Cale nodded, understanding instantly, the translator converting his hums to words. Clever human. The tunnel grew narrower, forcing them to crouch. Alex's hands scraped against the walls, leaving small cuts. Cale's armor shone faintly, lighting their path. Suddenly, they heard a low growl, something moving ahead, not mechanical but alive. Alex froze, holding Cale's arm. What is that? He whispered. His voice was barely audible. The growl grew louder, echoing in the tunnel. Two glowing eyes appeared in the darkness, staring at them. Alex realized it was a wild creature, large and dangerous, native to the planet. Cale stepped forward. Despite his injuries, and raised his hand, a faint energy pulse forming in his palm. Alex watched in awe as the pulse spread, creating a barrier between them and the creature. The beast hissed, then slowly backed away, disappearing into the darkness. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. You saved us, he said. Cale nodded, the translator humming. We protect each other. The bond between human and alien felt stronger than ever. As they continued, the tunnel opened into a small canyon, moonlight spilling over jagged rocks. Alex looked up and saw enemy search drones moving in the sky, scanning the area. They were close, too close. "We need to move fast," he whispered, helping Kale over a large rock. The alien stumbled slightly but regained balance. Suddenly, a sharp whistle pierced the air, a signal from the drones. Alex's heart sank. "They saw us," he shouted, grabbing Kale's arm. They ran, jumping over rocks and dodging debris. The canyon walls echoed their footsteps, and the drone's lights swept over them like dangerous fingers. Alex's mind raced, trying to find a safe path. He remembered seeing a small river in the scanner map flowing toward the forest. "The river! It can hide us," he shouted, leading Kale toward it. The alien moved faster now, his strength returning with every step. As they reached the river, Alex noticed the water was deep and fast, but it could cover their heat signatures from the drones. He helped Kale climb down, both of them slipping slightly on the wet rocks. The current pulled at their legs, making it difficult to move, but it was safer than standing in the open. They waded into the water, hiding under a small cliff overhang. Breathing heavily, Alex looked at Kyle. "We made it. For now," he whispered, noticing the alien scanning the sky. The enemy ships were still above, but their search patterns were slowing, unable to detect them in the shadows. Kyle pointed downstream, showing a path that led deeper into the forest. Alex nodded, realizing they had only temporary safety. They would need to rest and plan their next move. The forest would give them cover, but also unknown dangers. Alex's thoughts wandered, wondering who these enemies were, why Kale was hunted, and what mission the alien had. He looked at Kale, seeing pain and determination. "I don't know what's ahead, but I'm with you," he said. The alien's glowing eyes met his, almost like a silent promise. The night grew colder, shadows stretching over the river, and the distant hum of drones reminded them that the danger was not gone. Alex knew this was only the beginning of a larger journey, one filled with danger, mystery, and trust. For the first time, Alex understood the truth about courage. It was not just running into battle, but protecting someone who could not protect themselves, even when the odds were against you. And as they disappeared into the dark forest, the night seemed alive, full of secrets, threats, and possibilities. Alex tightened his grip on Kale's arm, ready for whatever lay ahead. Bonding and trust. The forest was quiet, dark shadows stretching between the twisted trees. Alex and Kale moved carefully, their footsteps muffled by the soft moss covering the ground. The river behind them gurgled quietly, hiding them from the enemy drones above. But Alex knew this was only temporary. Kale was still injured, but each step seemed easier than before. The alien's glowing armor dimmed slightly, showing he was conserving energy. Alex glanced at him, feeling a mix of awe and responsibility. "How did you survive the crash?" he asked softly, not expecting an answer. Kale's glowing eyes met his, the translator humming faintly. "Luck and training," the alien said, his voice steady but calm. Alex nodded, realizing that Kyle's life had been shaped by battles he could barely imagine. The human had always thought he knew fear, but standing beside this warrior, he understood it differently. They reached a small clearing, a patch of soft grass lit by the faint light of twin moons. Alex gestured for Kale to sit, and together they rested, their backs against a tree. Alex offered some water from his bottle, which Kale accepted carefully, sipping slowly, almost as if tasting a new world, you know, Alex said after a while, breaking the silence. "I've never met anyone like you." Kyle tilted his head, listening. "You fight, but you are hurt, and still alive," Alex continued, feeling the words more than thinking them. The alien's glowing eyes flickered, a soft, almost human-like gesture of acknowledgement. Kale reached out and touched Alex's shoulder lightly, the translator humming as he spoke. "You saved me when others would not." Alex felt a strange warmth at the words, realizing that trust was being formed in that moment. A bond stronger than words, something unspoken but powerful. The forest around them seemed alive, faint rustling sounds making Alex tense, but Kale stayed calm. his body moving with subtle grace. Alex noticed the patterns on the alien's armor glowing softly in the moonlight, almost like a heartbeat. He reached out, touching the symbols, and felt a gentle pulse, like a connection forming between them. "Do you understand me now?" Alex asked, curious. The translator hummed, and Kyle nodded. "More than before," he said. "You, human, different, caring." Alex smiled, a small laugh escaping him, feeling lighter for the first time since the crash. They shared stories slowly, Alex telling Kale about Earth, the forests, oceans, and cities. Kale's glowing eyes widened slightly at the mention of skyscrapers and flying machines. "Different world," he whispered. Alex nodded. "And yours? Tell me about your planet, Kale." The alien paused. Then images appeared in Alex's mind. Flashes of vast cities, alien creatures, and battles that seemed impossible. Alex watched silently, trying to understand the alien's life. He felt both awe and sadness, realizing that Kale had lost much in the fight to protect his people. The translator hummed softly. "I lost many friends," Kyle said, his voice heavy with memory. Alex placed a hand on the alien's arm, offering comfort. "We'll keep each other safe now," he promised. As the night deepened, small sounds of wildlife filled the forest, insects buzzing, leaves rustling. Alex realized that despite the danger, this moment was important. He was learning patience, understanding, and trust, all from an alien warrior. Suddenly, a faint glow appeared in the distance, tiny lights moving through the trees. Alex squinted, recognizing the drones from before. "They found us," he whispered, tension rising. Kale's eyes glowed brighter, and he whispered through the translator. "We fight or hide?" Quickly, Alex looked around, noticing a cluster of fallen trees and dense bushes. "We can hide here," he said, pulling Kale toward the cover. The alien's movements were careful but steady, and together they slipped into the shadows, barely making a sound while hiding. Alex noticed something new. Kale studying him, almost as if understanding human emotions. Alex felt a connection, a silent agreement that they were partners now. "I trust you," Kale said softly, the translator. Making the words clear, Alex smiled. "I trust you too." And for the first time, he felt they were equals in this fight. And as the first light of dawn touched the treetops, Alex and Kale prepared to move forward, stronger together, ready for the dangers and mysteries the forest and the universe would throw at them. The enemy strikes back. The forest seemed calm, the early morning mist curling around the trees. Alex and Kyle moved cautiously, stepping over roots and rocks. Their bodies still ached from the crash and the escape. But danger never rested, and neither could they. Suddenly, a loud, metallic hum pierced the air, different from the quiet drones before. Alex froze, scanning the treetops. "They're coming." "Bigger ships," Kale whispered through the translator, his eyes glowing brighter, alert and ready. Alex felt a chill, realizing this was not just a search, it was an attack. From the sky, shadowy shapes emerged, enemy ships unlike any Alex had, seen sleek black with glowing red lines. They hovered above the forest, scanning, and Alex noticed small drones descending rapidly toward them. "We have to move," he shouted, grabbing Kale's arm. The alien nodded, moving swiftly through the trees. The forest became chaotic, leaves and branches snapping as the drones swept past, searching, their lights flashing over the ground. Alex and Kale ducked behind a fallen tree, hearts racing. "They're fast and smart," Alex whispered, feeling the weight of the moment. The alien's armor glowed faintly, a shield forming around his body. One drone landed nearby, mechanical claws clicking as it moved closer. Alex held his breath, the plasma cutter in his hand, ready to act. Kale stepped forward, energy crackling from his hands, creating a small barrier that pushed the drone back. Sparks flew, the machine stumbling, but more were coming. Alex realized they could not fight all of them head-on. He looked around, spotting a small hill with thick rocks and vines. "That way," he shouted, dragging Kale. The drones followed, their sensors scanning, and Alex felt fear twist into determination. As they climbed the hill, One drone fired a laser beam, scorching the ground near Alex's feet. He jumped, barely avoiding it. Cale grabbed his arm, helping him steady. The alien's energy pulse flared, sending another drone crashing into the trees, sparks flying. But more ships appeared, larger than before, their engines making the ground tremble. Alex realized this was no longer a chase. It was an ambush. He and Cale had to survive long enough to find a plan. The forest offered cover, but not forever. Kyle paused, his glowing eyes scanning the sky, then pointed ahead, toward a cliff with a narrow ledge leading to a hidden cave. That way, faster, he said. Alex nodded, and together they sprinted, weaving between trees, dodging laser fire and leaping over roots and fallen branches. One drone spotted them, firing a red beam that hit a tree nearby, sending it crashing to the ground. Alex stumbled, falling hard, pain shooting through his leg. Cale turned, helping him up. Go, human. We, together, the translator hummed. Alex nodded, gritting his teeth, refusing to slow down. As they reached the cliff, Alex looked down and realized the drop was dangerous, but the cave below was their only chance. We jumped together, he said, holding Cale's arm. The alien's energy shield activated, forming a protective bubble around them. They leapt, the wind rushing past, the cliffside blurring. They landed hard on the rocky floor, sliding a few feet, but safe. Alex groaned, feeling every ache. Cale shook himself, adjusting his armor, then gestured toward the cave. Inside. Safe. For now. Alex followed, feeling relief, the darkness of the cave swallowing them. Inside, the cave was narrow, walls glistening with moisture. Alex's flashlight revealed strange markings, alien symbols carved into the stone. Kyle traced them with his fingers. Old history. Our people, he whispered. The translator hummed, translating faintly. Alex looked around, fascinated and nervous, realizing the cave might be more than a hiding place. But danger was still outside. Alex could hear the enemy drones, circling, engines humming, searching for any sign of life. They won't stop, Alex said, feeling the tension in his chest. Cale nodded. They, strong, but we, stronger, together, the translator said, his voice calm but firm. Alex took a deep breath, looking at the alien warrior beside him, realizing that their bond was the key to survival. Then we fight smart, not just strong, he said. Cale nodded, and together they began planning, moving rocks to create traps, marking paths, and using the cave's shadows to hide. Outside, the drones scanned relentlessly, beams of red light cutting through the trees. But inside, Alex and Cale were calm, hearts pounding, minds sharp, ready for whatever came next. The enemy believed they had the advantage, but the human and the alien were learning each other, learning to fight as one. As the sun rose, beams of light cutting through the misty forest, Alex whispered, We survived. Today. Cale's glow pulsed gently, the translator humming, Yes, today. We survive. And next, we strike. Alex smiled, realizing this was more than a battle. It was a journey, a fight for trust, survival, and the bond that would carry them through the darkness. The enemy had struck back, but Alex and Kyle had survived, and, together, they would face whatever came next, stronger, smarter, and united, ready for the battles, the mysteries, and the adventure that the universe had in store. The secret weapon. The cave was silent except for the sound of dripping water. Alex and Cale sat together, catching their breath, the enemy drone still circling above the forest. Their muscles ached, minds tense, but there was a strange sense of calm in the shadows. Kyle moved deeper into the cave, his glowing eyes scanning the walls. Then he stopped suddenly, placing his hand on a carved symbol. This secret weapon here, he said through the translator. Alex leaned closer, curious and cautious. Weapon? What kind of weapon? He asked. Cale traced the carvings carefully, his fingers glowing faintly, energy pulsing from him into the stone. The symbols lit up slowly, revealing a hidden compartment in the rock. Alex stepped back, his heart racing. "It's real," he whispered. "It's actually real." Inside the hidden compartment lay a strange device, unlike anything Alex had ever seen. Small, metallic, covered in glowing alien glyphs. Its shape shifting slightly as if alive. Cale reached out, touching it, and a soft hum filled the cave, vibrating through the walls. "The weapon can stop many enemies," Kyle said, his voice calm but heavy with meaning. Alex stared at the device, imagining the drones, the larger ships, and the danger they faced. "Do you think it will work?" he asked, fear and hope mixing together. Cale's glowing eyes met his, the translator humming softly. "It will work if used correctly," he said, "but dangerous if not." Alex nodded, realizing that this was not just a tool, but a test, a challenge, and a responsibility. They studied the device carefully, Alex touching the smooth surface, feeling a strange energy that pulsed like a heartbeat. Cale traced the symbols again, the glyphs glowing brighter. "We must activate together," he said, his voice firm. "Human, your courage, my strength. Combine." Alex swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment. "All right, let's do it," he said, reaching out, placing his hands next to Cale's on the device. The cave trembled slightly as energy surged through them, a soft glow expanding, illuminating the walls in waves. The device seemed alive, reacting to their combined presence, pulsing faster, and Alex felt a strange connection to Kyle, as if their minds were linked through the hum of energy. He could sense Kyle's focus, determination, and trust, and it strengthened him. Suddenly the cave shook violently, dust falling from the ceiling. "They found the cave," Cale shouted, energy flaring around his hands. Alex grabbed a rock for cover, the enemy drones breaking through the forest edge, their sensors scanning, their engines loud and threatening. The secret weapon pulsed faster, responding to the danger. Cale whispered instructions through the translator. "Focus, channel, together, human, now." Alex took a deep breath, closing his eyes, letting the device guide him, and together they directed the energy toward the drones. A wave of light erupted from the cave, blinding and powerful, drones spinning out of control, falling into the trees. Exploding with sparks, Alex felt the energy surge through his body, but Cale's calm strength balanced it, the glow stabilizing, controlling the power. The larger enemy ships above faltered, their sensors disrupted, beams of red light flickering, and for the first time, Alex saw hope, a chance to fight back. Cale's energy shield protected them, the secret weapon amplifying his strength, creating a bubble of safety. But the power of the weapon was not without risk. Alex's body shook, exhaustion and energy mixing painfully. He struggled to maintain control, Cale placing his hand on Alex's shoulder, focusing their combined energy. "Together, human, trust," the translator hummed. Finally, the pulse stabilized, the drones scattered, the larger ships retreating momentarily. As if surprised by the unexpected force, Alex collapsed to his knees, gasping, Cale glowing faintly, supporting him. "You survived and controlled weapon," he said softly, pride in his voice. Alex looked at the device, now dim but still humming, realizing it was more than just a weapon. It was a symbol, a bond between him and Cale, a reminder that courage and trust could create unimaginable power. "We did it," he whispered, smiling weakly. Together they stepped into the light of the forest, weapons ready, eyes sharp, hearts united, knowing that the enemy would return. But now, they had the power, the courage, and the trust to face anything, and nothing could stop a human and an alien warrior fighting as one. The final battle. The forest was quiet, almost too quiet. Alex and Cale moved cautiously, the secret weapon strapped to Cale's back, its faint glow cutting through the mist. They had survived the drones, the ambushes, And now, they knew the enemy would come back stronger. Alex's heart pounded, every sound amplified in the silence. He scanned the treetops, alert for movement. Kale's glowing eyes reflected determination, his body tense and ready. They, coming soon, Kyle whispered, the translator humming softly. We must fight together. Suddenly, a distant roar echoed through the forest, engines and weapons charging. The enemy fleet had returned, larger, faster, their ships, black and menacing, beams of red light cutting through the misty morning. Alex's grip on his plasma cutter tightened. Kale extended his hand, energy pulsating from his body. The secret weapon responded, glowing brighter, sensing the approaching danger. Ready? Human? Kyle asked, and Alex nodded, determination burning in his eyes. Ready? The first wave of drones descended, sleek and fast, cutting through trees, sparks flying as Alex fired his plasma cutter, dodging and weaving. Kyle's energy. Shield expanded, deflecting beams, protecting them both. The forest became a chaotic battlefield. Branches snapping, metal clashing, energy flaring. Alex noticed the enemy ships above, coordinating their attack, sending drones and beams in waves. Kale's shield flickered under the strain, but the secret weapon pulsed, amplifying their strength, guiding their moves. Focus. Together. Energy. Kale shouted, and Alex followed instinctively. Their attacks synchronized. Alex fired at the drones, cutting through metal with precision. Kale's energy pulses knocked others away, the secret weapon humming, glowing brighter with each pulse. It was as if the forest itself was alive, supporting their fight, the air thick with tension and power. A massive enemy ship descended, larger than any before, its weapons charged, red light glowing. The ground shook as it landed, sending trees crashing. Alex felt a wave of fear but pushed it aside. We can't run. We end this. Here, he said, voice firm. Kale nodded, energy pulsing from his hands. Yes. Human. We fight. Together. Now. He activated the secret weapon fully, the glow expanding around them, creating a protective aura. Alex felt the energy surge through him, giving him strength, courage, and focus. The first wave of drones fell under their combined attack, sparks and metal raining down. Alex moved faster, dodging, striking, every move amplified by the weapon, Kale's energy shield, pushing back beams, creating openings for Alex to attack. They were unstoppable together. The massive ship fired a huge beam cutting through the forest. Alex and Kale barely avoided it, landing hard on the ground. But they rose immediately, energy from the weapon protecting them. Kale's voice steady. We finish it together. Human. Alex nodded, taking a deep breath, focusing, letting the energy flow through him. He aimed at the ship's core, firing his plasma cutter with precision, while Kale released a massive pulse of energy from the secret weapon hitting the ship's weak point. The impact shook the ground, sparks flying, engines failing, alarms blaring. The ship began to collapse, drones falling from the sky, its red lights flickering and dimming. Alex and Kale advanced, relentless, their combined strength unstoppable. The forest echoed with explosions, energy surging, but their focus never wavered. Finally, with one last pulse from the secret weapon, the ship erupted in a massive explosion, fire and debris flying in all directions. The enemy fleet faltered, retreating, their plan defeated. Alex fell to his knees, exhausted but alive. Kale standing beside him, glowing faintly, calm and steady. Alex looked around, the forest quiet again, mist curling around fallen trees. Smoke, rising from the battlefield. He felt a mixture of relief and awe, realizing they had done the impossible. We did it. Kale, he whispered, his voice weak but triumphant. Kale's translator hummed softly. Yes, human. Together. Victory. Ours. The secret weapon dimmed, its energy spent but its purpose fulfilled. Alex touched it, feeling the connection, the bond, the courage it had given them. They stood together looking at the horizon, the enemy fleet gone, the forest slowly returning to calm, Alex realized that their journey was more than survival. It was trust, courage, and the unbreakable bond between a human and an alien warrior. Kale placed a hand on Alex's shoulder, glowing softly. Next, universe, new adventure. Together, the translator said. Alex smiled, feeling hope and determination, ready for whatever came next, knowing that together they could face any enemy, any challenge, and protect the innocent across the stars. The sun rose, casting light over the forest. Alex and Kale walked forward side by side, ready to explore, fight, and discover, their bond stronger than ever. Heroes not just by strength but by courage, trust, and the will to protect. And as the mist faded, one truth remained clear. The human had dared, the alien had survived, and together, they had changed the course of a battle that could have destroyed worlds, proving that bravery, friendship, and unity could conquer even the greatest enemy.